Hey, friends, let's talk about a topic that a lot of people actually ask me about. And so this may or may not apply to you, but stick with me here. Let's talk about how you and I can do a deal together in 2025. Now, the reason why I say 2025 is because, hey, this may change in the future. I don't consider myself an investor who's always going to do the same thing. That's important. All right, let's talk about some of the ways. So, the first way that we could do a deal together. You see, a lot of people, let me kind of preface this first. A lot of people are very quick to want to partner, and they especially want to partner with someone who's experienced, maybe someone they respect. And so it's never lost on me when someone asks to partner on a deal. But keep in mind, so I've had many partnerships over the years, and a partnership for me is well, I say many, but truthfully, like a legitimate, like shared LLC type of partnership. So as official as you can get with a partnership, I've had, like five of those, right? And so that takes for me, that's like getting married to someone. So that is not something I do quickly, and it's not something that I do lightly. And so that's going to vary. And so that type of partnership, I usually joke and I say, take me on a date first. I'm a lady, right? Where for us to get to know each other. Now, I will say, um, my views of partnerships have evolved over the years. One of those being that, I've, you know, as I've like had different seasons of life, I have different needs as an investor. And then once I, got engaged, I mean, that changed my views on partnerships, right? Like different things along those lines. So with that being said, um, I'm going to speak to a few different types of partnerships. And so on a basic level, like partnering on a wholesale deal, that's probably the easiest way that I can partner with someone. And so that is going to be the number one that I suggest with people is partnering on that. Now, when it comes to that, it is I don't wholesale as much as I used to. Um, Myself and one of my business partners, we do collaborate with one of we are, the largest dispo partner for wholesale deals in South Louisiana. So Baton Rouge, um, the North Shore, the South Shore, and we're even starting to do deals. We're even starting to do deals in other parts of South Louisiana and and then also South Mississippi. So if you've got a seller who is motivated and you would want to co-wholesale it with us, that is something where um, you reach out. One of the best ways you can actually do that is by getting with us before you contract it. We find that most people, like maybe 80 to 90 plus percent of people, they would be contracting it too high, too early. And so it's really hard to get a seller to trade down on price once you go under contract. And so we often say, look, we very much care about our reputation. We're not looking to go around you or anything like that, but come to us before you contract it. We can run the numbers. We can tell you if we would have any potential buyers for that to wholesale it to, because there's some properties that are just very hard to move. They're either quirky in a certain area, have certain issues, maybe a certain price point, things like that. And then the other part of that, so we can talk to you about our confidence or lack of confidence with buyers. And then the other part is what price we can underwrite it. We can help you understand where the numbers need to be at so you can lock it up at the best, you know, the the best number at the best number so that we can be the most successful, right? And so if you do that, then we will, you've got to be on the seller side though, right? You've got to find the motivated seller. You've got to negotiate with them. And then we would split the fee 50-50. We would do an official joint venture contract. We would help with the paperwork and with the title company part. But there's a level that your role would be to find the motivated seller. Now, people say, "Hey, Courtney, can you, do a deal with me? Can you wholesale a deal with me and partner with me on one in Michigan, in Florida, in what?" Generally, I'm not going to be interested because I work a very tight box, and I realize saying yes to something out of that box is saying, it can cause me to have to say no to something that's really more should be my priority, right? So if I am looking to co-wholesale with someone, it is going to be in South Louisiana or South Mississippi. And again, the best way that you can actually submit that is to go to homebuyerlouisiana.com/Courtney and say, fill out the address, but then put your name, your phone number, and in that little comment section say, hey, I'd like to joint venture this with you guys. And then but this not don't let this just be a house that you saw that's boarded up. It needs to be a seller you're talking to, that this has some actual potential. You want to get to that point first. And so it is going to be on you to educate yourself on how to find motivated sellers and when to know when it's a motivated seller or not. But say you have one, great. We'd love to help. The reason we want you to come through there first, we're going to make sure that it's something that fits within our box, right? Like fits within, something within like how we run our numbers, something that we'd be confident that we could move and things like that. So that's the first way we can partner is to co-wholesale within those specific parameters, all right? The second way that we could work together, and a lot of times people are going to be like, hey, Courtney, I'd love to own a rental with you. I would love to do a flip with you. I'll be honest, again, that comes to the bigger question of partnerships. And when it comes to co-owning properties together, that is something I do with very few people. And even again, my other partnerships, some of my views on partnerships has evolved from where they have previously been. And so I do not easily go into co-owning properties with people. So, ultimately, what I would, the second way that we can, do a deal together is if you fund the deal. If you fund the deal, now depending on if it's coming for your retirement account or if it's actually cash or something else like that, then there may be some restrictions on what you can actually do in the deal. But some of my closest relationships are with the people who lend me money. You know, the people who lend me money, I mean, I routinely will go have a meal together. We'll spend one-on-one time, I'll call, when we go through those deals, nothing's hidden. I mean, it's fully open. And although we do not co-own the properties together, it is an opportunity where you're putting your money to work and getting return on it. And it's one of those things where I do not do any one-on-one coaching, but in if you ask anywhere in my life where I do the most one-on-one, it is with the people who lend me money. And there is a level there that is where a lot of my priority is. You know, all the other education stuff I do is going to be on stuff on the content, and then the handful of workshops I do a year, right? I no longer run the RIA. I still attend them, but I no longer run that. Yes, I'm on the radio. That's kind of a different thing. It's a live call-in show on the radio. But truly, it is going to be, I don't offer any one-on-one coaching. I used to offer group coaching. I don't offer that anymore. So that is one of those ways that, when people say, hey, Courtney, can you do one-on-one coaching with me? Or how can we do a deal together? It's generally going to be joint venturing on a wholesale deal. Joint venturing on a wholesale deal in my target areas. Or it's if you lend and fund a deal for me. That is generally how we can do a deal together. Now, granted, I think another caveat of that is going to be maybe you saying, Courtney, I want to get to know you better, Courtney. I love what you're doing. I said, okay, great. Come attend one of my workshops. I spend time getting to know the folks in my workshops, right? Go to the local RIAs in the greater New Orleans area. I frequently attend them. And usually when there's a meeting after the meeting at, a restaurant, I attend those. Come sit next to me, talk. I'm not greedy with what I know. I'm happy to talk. Those are some of the best ways, consistently interact with my, content. I have no issues with just having conversations. So with that being said, those are the ways that we could do a deal together in 2025. There are people who have sent me deals, like real estate agents who have sold me deals who I spend extra time with. Basically people who again either fund my deals, bring me deals, things like that. I will spend more time with. But at the end of the day, it is there's a level there that I am restrictive on, who I do a deal with, who I own properties with, and things like that. And so, well, look, I would love to do a deal with you guys. Now you know what those parameters are. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and I hope this was helpful for you. I know that this will be a video. I promise I will copy the link to this video and send as an answer to questions throughout the year. So maybe this is more helpful for me than it is for all of you, but maybe for some of you. All right, guys, appreciate you subscribing, following along, tuning in, and I hope you have a great day.